Hello everyone, my name is Cyndi Brandt. I'm Content Marketing Manager at Descartes, and today we're going to be discussing the importance of customer experience in last mile delivery. So customer experience is often seen as a cost center, but in fact a lot of tactics that improve the customer experience actually reduce operational costs. So joining me today to talk about this challenge, we have Cyndi Brandt, VP of Fleet Solutions at Descartes. Hello, Cyndi.
Thank you, Jeannie. It's fun to be here with you today. I appreciate it.
So, Cyndi, why is customer experience so important when it comes to last mile delivery?
Our whole world has changed post-COVID, right? Customer expectations have completely changed, and that's really been driven by the business to consumer experience. Think about Amazon, Uber, DoorDash, and then second, we started to see an increasing commoditization in services out there. Customer experience is now starting to really be a key differentiator within the marketplace. There's a whole bunch of new technology out there that improve customer experience, but also help improve the overall efficiency and productivity of businesses.
Okay, so why is it so challenging then to provide a great customer experience?
Well, first and foremost, it's just that expectations has exponentially risen. They're higher than ever. The second key problem is really around the fact that a lot of times we create very unrealistic route plans and we commit to delivery promises that just simply can't be met, and that leads to a lot of missed time windows and customer disappointment. Third, systems are so disorganized and not connected today. So it's really difficult to provide visibility to your customers that want that, especially when you don't know the joining of the plan versus actual.
So what are some of the factors that can have a negative impact on the customer experience?
Well, first and foremost, just that lack of transparency and visibility. The world has changed so much, again, post-COVID. So much more data is exposed to us as consumers. These business consumers also want to see that data right in front of them as well. Second is just that whole concept of misdelivery. Delivery is arriving late, not arriving at all, and especially not communicating about the potential misstep that might happen with that delivery. We also don't really have great, easy ways to communicate with drivers. We can text them, we can call them, but it's hard to constantly keep in contact with many drivers at once using a manual process. And we also need new ways to communicate to our customers and drivers when there's been a change in the route, or we need to update that estimated time of arrival. And then last, let's talk about flexible delivery options. Customers really want more flexibility in their delivery and when their delivery comes because of a lot of different reasons, specifically economic. But if you don't offer that flexibility, it may have a negative impact.
Okay, so customer experience is obviously a number one priority. What are some of the ways that businesses can keep track of the customer experience and customer satisfaction around delivery?
Well, I think there's really only one single way to do that, and that's around getting instant feedback by providing a feedback mechanism. So wouldn't it be great that post-delivery, you immediately get an ask to fill out a form to rate your driver, your delivery, and perhaps even the quality of the product. By gathering that feedback and analyzing it as quickly as you can, that's how you're going to keep track of the delivery experience, and that's how you're going to understand where you need to make improvements and where you need to relay compliments.
What are some of the ways that customer experience has a negative impact on operations, not just on the customer?
Operational impacts are financial impacts. Every time operations are impacted negatively, there's a chance that you're going to have a negative financial impact as well, typically through revenue or increased costs. So let's talk about a couple of operational impacts and then how they potentially could negatively affect you from a financial perspective. The first is too many missed or failed deliveries. If I miss too many time windows, if I miss too many deliveries or fail to make those deliveries, a customer is probably going to walk and go to another third-party provider. That means revenue is leaving your company. The next one is rescheduling. Rescheduling a delivery that's been missed is extremely expensive. Why? Now I've got to send another driver and another vehicle out there. So now I'm adding to my cost bottom line. The third is really going to be around overburdened support teams. Think about how many calls come into customer service today asking, where is my order? Or WISMO, as we like to say. Every time a customer calls, it's an expensive endeavor to get that solution to them if you don't have an automated way to deal with that. And then last, negative reviews. Negative reviews of your company or product or service ultimately is going to end in not getting customers who may have chosen you because they saw that negative review, or customers leaving because they've had such a negative experience.
Okay, so poor customer experience can be quite costly. What are some of the strategies and technologies that company can use to improve that last mile customer experience?
There's a couple of really simple strategies out there that the companies can deploy today. First and foremost, don't look at customer experience as a cost center or something that's 100% separate from operations. It's truly woven into your operational footprint. Customer experience doesn't just fall within the domain of sales reps, but every single department. So that's number one. Make sure that you're not thinking about it as a cost. It's not. It's a way to generate revenue. The second thing is people need to implement a routing tool as well as an execution tool. Why? I need to combine the plan with the execution of that plan in order to understand what's happening and how that day is unraveling. If I can do that, I can then provide great ETAs for our customers. The next one is really about being flexible. Companies today desire more flexible delivery windows. Why? Well, there's been a change in the economy. They're trying to hold their cash as long as they can. By holding that cash, that means that they want to have more frequent deliveries with smaller quantities. Now, that goes against everything that we as operators want to do, right? But if we can drive density and move to a more dynamic scenario, we just might be able to improve and offer more time windows, all while keeping our costs the same or less. And the last piece is really about these digital engagement tools that are out there today. We talk about digital customer engagement every single day. We experience a digital customer engagement as consumers every single day. So it's those SMS notifications. It's providing real-time tracking or the truck on the map for people to understand where they are in the route or where their truck is. And then, of course, real-time feedback. So as an issue arises, we can immediately deal with it.
So how do some of those technologies contribute to reduced costs and increased operational efficiency?
The big thing is fewer failed deliveries. When customers are in the loop, when they're getting information, you're going to be able to deliver more often to them. Why? Because we have a labor shortage today inside many of the places that are receiving the goods. So we may need to pull workers off the floor to meet a truck at the dock. And if they don't have those employees available, well, they might refuse a delivery simply because they can't check in the product. When we think about the optimization of routes, if we can optimize those routes based on exceptional data going into the system and then also back into the system through our execution tool, you're going to increase your delivery density as well as reduce the overall miles driven. Both of those are going to contribute to increasing your bottom line. And then, of course, the last one is really about reducing those inbound Wizmo or where's my order phone calls. Believe it or not, one of the biggest constituents that's actually making those Wizmo calls are the internal salespeople, because they're being good ambassadors and they're proactively calling customers to tell them what time their delivery will be there. So if we can reduce those calls, again, we can redeploy a lot of those customer service agents to other revenue generating activities.
What's the best combination, would you say, of technologies to improve that last mile customer experience?
To me, there's 4 parts of a delivery management platform that you can't live without. First is going to be strategic or daily planning. How are you going to create your routes for the day? The second is going to be the execution of routes, being able to track what happens in real time. The execution of those routes becomes critically important because we want to collect that data and feed it back into the route planning tool. And then the third piece is customer engagement, being able to provide ETAs, real-time notifications, updates on a map, as well as driver feedback. The possibility to provide driver feedback, I should really say, is a really important piece of that puzzle. The fourth piece is customer reservations. So after I've mastered the basics of creating a route, executing the route, and speaking about when a delivery will be arriving to a customer, there's a concept called reservations. Being able to allow your customers more options to self-schedule their delivery when it might be more convenient for them, but also drives density on the back end for you.
What are the top 3 things you would recommend that a distributor or a retailer do to improve that last mile customer experience?
Well, I think the first thing they have to do is really start to invest in these digital engagement tools for proactive and transparent order tracking. So once I place that order, I need to have information presented back to me about my order through the entire journey. So from order placement all the way to destination delivery. Second is really around continuous improvement through performance monitoring, as well as instant feedback. So I want to get information about not only how well the driver is doing in the field, field, but also the perception of what the driver has been doing at the delivery. And then the third is artificial intelligence. I know that's a big hot button these days, but we really need to use AI to tackle repetitive tasks and also in other parts of our business, such as sales for order forecasting. It's really important to get the entire delivery ordered correctly the first time. And the last thing I would say about AI is don't think about it as a replacement for human beings, because it's not. It's there to enhance what human beings do and to make them more efficient.
How does Descartes solutions stand out compared to other solutions on the market?
Descartes' a little bit different from everybody else because we include a set of robust workflows. This really allows organizations to develop specific flows of information for different audiences. You might have one specifically for your sales reps and another one for customers and perhaps even another one for someone in the back office. All important pieces of information need to get to these folks, but the information might be just a little bit different for each one. The other difference that we see is granularity. A lot of solutions simply don't have the level of granularity that Descartes has. They provide simple ETA versus plan information. They're not providing information about that entire order journey, from order placement all the way through post-delivery with driver feedback and surveys. It's really important to be able to provide information about that entire journey, but to also provide visuals that support that. So maybe a map with a truck on it to show them how many stops away you are. And then last but not least, being able to integrate that driver delivery feedback in near real time.
Do you have any examples of customers who've used Descartes to improve the customer experience around last mile delivery?
There's a great customer of ours, Halpern Steak and Seafood. They really took a different approach than most customers do by rolling it out to their sales representatives first. This strategy gave the sales team full visibility into order information, significantly reducing calls regarding ETA or Wizmo or where's my order phone calls. It also started improving cross-department communication. Why? Because sales reps see exactly where the orders are, which cuts down on the calls, cuts down on the emails, cuts down on the office drive-bys, and eliminates a lot of delays caused by both phone tag between multiple departments and running around between departments to have conversations.
Okay, great insights. Thank you, Cyndi. And where can people go if they want to learn more about improving the customer experience around last mile delivery?
I encourage visitors to explore Descartes.com/route planning. There's a wealth of resources about today's most relevant last mile delivery challenges and real world examples of how Descartes is helping businesses across a wide range of industries solve many of these challenges, improve operational performance, and help improve the customer experience.
Thank you for your time, Cyndi, and thanks everyone for watching.